So Amber Heard's attorney, Elaine Bredehoft, was on CBS this morning and gave some rather interesting statements. Let's go over that.
Virginia jury's decision to side with Johnny Depp in his defamation lawsuit is drawing both condemnation and praise. The verdict came after 6 weeks of very dramatic testimony from both sides. She claimed that he abused her, while he said she was the abuser. In his reaction, Depp wrote, "The goal of bringing the case was to reveal the truth, and that truth never perishes." Elaine Bredehoft is the attorney for Amber Heard and is with us now. And we should mention, we did also reach out to Johnny Depp's team, but they declined to be interviewed this morning. Elaine, thank you. We're so very glad you're here.
Thank you.
We heard Amber's reaction to the verdict yesterday. This seems to be a huge victory for Johnny Depp this morning.
Yeah, a major setback for women, for women inside the courtroom and outside the courtroom.
No. This is not a setback for women, unless all women are liars. This is a setback for people who lie about abuse. A great analogy to this is stolen valor, people who pretend to be veterans of war. If you call somebody out for stealing valor, like we're calling out Amber Heard, it doesn't hurt or harm actual veterans. So when they say, oh, the women are suffering at large. No, this is Amber Heard cloaking herself in the label of woman at the detriment of all women in general.
Because basically what this said, Amber had an enormous amount of evidence, although a lot of it was suppressed in this case as opposed to the UK.
Well, hold on. Amber Heard wasn't on trial in the UK. That was... what, The Guardian? The Daily Mail. One of those rags. Amber Heard wasn't on trial. It was the newspaper. And the newspaper was being sued for their statements. And they had to prove whether or not they could print them, whether it's defamation. If they hear something secondhand from Amber Heard and they report on it, can Johnny Depp sue them? Turns out no. But he can sue Amber Heard for the false things she said.
But look at all the women who have no evidence, all these women who suffer from domestic violence.
So what you should be telling women is, if you suffer domestic violence, get evidence, document it. Notice how they're not saying that. Amber Heard never had any documented evidence of any domestic violence. She never had any photographs of herself being injured.
Domestic abuse, they don't have evidence. And basically what this jury said is, unless you pull out your cell phone and you tape record your spouse beating you, you're out of luck.
But Elaine,
Well, sorry. It helps a lot. Here's another thing. If you actually have bruises from the beating, that will help out a lot. So in case you happen to heal like Amber Heard, she heals like the Wolverine. Johnny Depp would drag her across glass, and the next day she'd wear an open-backed dress, and there'd be no cuts or scars or nick. Hell, I got my cat scratched me on my nose, and I still have like a mark here 3 days later. What is it? I sliced my finger open. It's been healing for the next 3 weeks. You don't heal if she had no damage on her. That's why we don't believe her.
I think it was bigger than that, because you had the evidence, as you say, but they did not believe her.
Also, because she would lie to the jury. Here's a pro tip. Don't lie to the jury. By the way, if you guys like this type of content, please like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. It really helps this video grow. So she would lie to the jury. We all seen that video clip where Camille Vasquez is asking her, how much money did you donate to the Children's Hospital? She's like, I donated $7 million. And it's like, no, you didn't. You pledged $7 million, right? She's like, yeah, I use pledge and donate interchangeably. It's like, modern people don't. We can tell you're being deceptive. We can tell you're lying. Lying with malice. The jury charged her with malice.
Why do you think they did not believe her?
I think that a lot of that was that it was Johnny Depp. I think the celebrities.
No. A lot of it was Amber Heard.
Status.
But she's a celebrity too.
Yo, Tim Scott, yo, Don.
But she's a celebrity too.
Right.
But you have to remember, it's a tale of two trials. All the evidence came in the UK. Mr. Depp brought that one. The burden of proof was on the son in the UK because they had called him a wife beater and talked about the domestic violence. He had his opportunity to tell the truth then.
So I got some people saying news stream. Holly Weird equals uninteresting. Here's why this matters. This story matters because the powers that be, the institutional gatekeepers that control the narratives, they wanted everyone to think Amber Heard should have won. That's not what happened. What happened with Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial is kind of a mini repeat of the Trump 2016 election. They're kind of blown away. Where's all this underground popular grassroots support for Johnny Depp coming from? All of the magazines, all of the institutions are saying Amber Heard should be believed, including her. She's even kind of surprised that no one's believing Amber. What the heck? So this is okay, Don, take care. So the powers that be are going to try to crack down on the force that caused this popular support for Johnny Depp.
And a 3-week trial, he lost. The judge found 12 acts of domestic violence, including sexual violence.
That's not what he found. He found that the newspaper published that couldn't be sued for defamation. Not the same thing.
And that came out November 2, 2020. We weren't allowed to tell the jury that.
Well, it's a different system, and the judge, it wasn't a jury, it was a judge. The judge said it was substantially true, and that is significant, and I think surprised a lot of legal analysts. But, in this case, the jury not only didn't believe Amber Heard, but in ruling that she acted with actual malice, that means she had the intent to cause harm, right? That's a pretty high standard to have proven.
And it's pretty amazing since the op-ed never even mentioned Mr. Depp.
But it did by implication. Quit playing dumb.
You have to remember that. What they learned from the UK case is to demonize Amber, which is what they did, and to try to suppress as much of the evidence that came in the UK and did not come in the United States. But the other problem is we had cameras in the courtroom. So here...
What evidence did you have in the UK that you couldn't present in the United States? Tell us what this evidence is. Also, this lady's got a cast on her foot.
We had, not only did we have a group of Depp fans that were there every day, 100 were allowed in. They lined up at 1 o'clock in the morning for their wristbands to be in that courtroom. But we had everything on camera, and we had tremendous social media.
So what? We shouldn't have cameras in the courtroom? Is that what you're saying, Elaine? I personally think we need more cameras in every courtroom, and the federal court should be broadcast too, especially what's going on behind those doors.
That was very, very, very much against Amber.
It was pointed out that that was the first time that a victim of sexual abuse had to testify on live television.
And I fought hard and lost that battle. It should not have happened.
Wait.
Television. I pointed out that that was the first time that a victim of sexual abuse...
Alleged victim...
had to testify on live television.
And I fought hard and lost that battle. It should not have happened.
So I am a former NFL player.
Okay.
And after a hard loss, it's easy to wake up and point to the other side. Oftentimes, I realized the better thing to do was to look in the mirror. What mistakes did I make as a player? What mistakes did our coaching staff make? And then how can we improve
what
from
mistakes
there?
did you make?
Do you feel like you guys made any mistakes along the way? Do you feel like Amber made a mistake while she was on the stand? Because you're saying it's the celebrity, it's Johnny, it's the people who support him. But what about you and your team?
Well, and
I don't think she's going to answer anything here because it's going to give her client something to sue her over. A bad representation claim.
That's an excellent question. And to say, and Amber even said on the stand, I am not perfect. I am a human being. These people were giving her death threats.
No. What did you do wrong? Don't distract us.
Threatened to microwave her baby. This is the kind of social media she was getting.
What did you do
So
wrong?
Are any of us perfect? No. Is there something else we feel we should have done? Yes.
What should you have done?
Absolutely. I redo my closings 100 times.
What could you have improved on, though?
Yeah, afterwards, whether I win or lose. That's part of being a good lawyer, a good trial lawyer, is there's always something. But I think that there were a lot of influences here that were beyond our control. And I think the social media, it was like a Roman.
The social media, I'm telling you, they don't want people live streaming trials anymore.
Coliseum is the, and I think the social media, it was like a Roman Coliseum. Is the best way to.
That's the way freedom of speech should be.
Describe the atmosphere here. And I have to believe that the jury, even though they're told not to go and look at anything, they have weekends.
So you're saying the jury didn't follow instructions and they broke rules. You're saying the jury
have families.
Even though they found in Amber Heard's favor.
They were not sequestered. They were not sequestered.
And the 10-day period we had, how could they not have been influenced?
But Elaine, for most people watching this trial, and a lot of people, as you know, got huge views, it just seemed to be...
Wait, what's that?
Most people watching this trial, and a lot of people, as you know, got huge views.
A lot of people got huge views, except for the news media.
It just seemed to be, it seemed to be so messy and salacious and so tawdry on both sides. On both sides. And I think for a lot of people from the outside looking in thought both of them were not telling the truth and that they had both, I don't
know about that.
They mutually abused each other. Do you not believe that?
Oh, no such thing as mutual abuse. That's, as we'll cover later on this live stream. What is... No, one person abuses, the other retaliates.
That was the case?
No, and that's one of the many misnomers. The way that Depp's team approached this was based on ignorance of domestic violence.
Well, then maybe you should have done voir dire better. Should have made sure the jury properly understood domestic violence. Maybe you should have had an expert there on domestic violence explaining what's happening and how yelling at somebody is actually domestic violence, and that when Amber Heard admitted to hitting Johnny, that wasn't domestic violence.
It completely ignored the cycle of violence and just said, oh, she wouldn't have done this if he had been hitting her. That was their approach.
She would have gone to the doctor if she thought she was arred by a broken glass bottle.
So you thought that they weren't fighting fair?
Correct. I don't think they were fighting fair.
And you think
absolutely.
Amber Heard is, in fact, a survivor of domestic violence?
Yes, I absolutely believe that. And there's a tremendous amount of evidence, much of which did not come into this trial.
What evidence?
Did come into the UK trial. We even had more evidence. We had medical records. We had mental health records that went back to 2012 that were contemporaneous. We had text messages from Mr. Depp's assistant saying, when I told him that he had kicked you, he cried.
So how is she today, Elaine? How is she today?
When I had told him he had kicked you, he cried.
What is her next move?
She's right. Well, her next move is appeal. There were a number.
She's heartbroken.
She is heartbroken. And one of
hearsay. So that was a hearsay.
One of the first things that she said when she came back from the verdict, when we went into the conference room, was, I am so sorry to all these women.
She did not say that. You are lying. You are a liar.
She said that?
Yes. She felt like she had let down
this
all
guy
these
doubts
women.
it.
She said that?
Yes.
This guy on the right here, he's been doubting her the whole time. He's been pressing her. He doubts it right now.
She felt like she had
Look,
let down all of these women because she had
suit.
more evidence than
cool
most
is
people
that?
do, and yet they still didn't believe her.
Elaine Bredehoft, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you.
Thank
We'll be right back.
All right, if you guys like this type of content, like down below, subscribe, share for friends. Radically Moderate out of here.